Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. When I was in my drinking days, one of my favorite quotes was a quote that's attributed to Frank Sinatra. And the quote is, "I feel sorry for people who don't drink, because when they wake up in the morning, that's the best they're going to feel all day." And so first off, you should probably not take advice from Frank Sinatra. Second, now that I'm sober in recovery, I so disagree with that quote, because on a lot of days, I wake up and then continuously feel better as the day goes on. And part of the reason that that's true is that I've tapped into what Tommy Rosen calls the infinite pharmacy in Recovery 2.0. And I want to read a little bit about what he says about it and then tell you my experience with this. Tommy says, "Inside your body is a pharmacy that is open 24 hours a day. The drugs you are really looking for are all right there within you. They're distributed throughout your body in the way nature intended via the endocrine or glandular system. The head pharmacist is represented by the pituitary gland, the master of the endocrine system, which sorts out messages between the brain and body. Your endocrine and nervous systems work closely together to regulate and harmonize your experience. When all is flowing according to plan, your nervous system provides all its inputs to the endocrine system, which releases the right drugs in the right amounts to the right places at the right time. This is called feeling good. It is a natural process that I wish for you, the person in recovery, to experience once again. In your addictions, you've tinkered with your nervous and endocrine systems to such an extent that it may take a while for you to experience what it's like to have a natural high and a smoothly running inner world once again. There are so many activities that encourage the infinite pharmacy to do its thing well that have both short and long-term benefit. This is what we're working toward in Recovery 2.0. Here are but a few suggestions. Take a walk in nature. Play sports. Go to the gym. Eat healthy food. Drink an organic green juice. Hug a friend or lover for a minute or more. Listen to and play music. Write in your journal. Hit a 12-step meeting. Volunteer your time and feed the homeless. Read or watch spiritual uplifting media. See a teacher, mentor, or therapist. Help someone who needs it. Dance, sing, chant, and pray." So one of the things that he says there that I think is really, really important is that this is called feeling good. And we, if we're just coming out of addiction and in early recovery, we're not used to feeling good, and we're not used to having good feelings come up just because we did something that a lot of people who aren't in addiction do on a regular basis to help them feel good. When I was in my addiction, I remember getting advice like, go take a walk, or talk to a friend. And I remember thinking, how is that going to help me feel better? I'd be deep in a depression and someone would give me the advice of, go to the gym, go get a workout in, write in a journal. And I'd think, hey, man, this isn't going to make me feel any better. What I really need is a fat joint and a six-pack. And so it wasn't until I got into recovery and started to see a regulation of my endocrine system and started to get back to normal that all of a sudden these things did start to make a difference. Little things all of a sudden started making me feel good, and things that I never expected. For example, if I was frustrated at the end of the day or had had a long day, sitting down and listening to a couple of songs, a couple of pieces of music, and just relaxing made a difference. And that felt weird because I was not used to that at all. I couldn't never just sit and listen to music and then have that experience help me feel better. I always had to have some kind of drug involved and it wasn't really about listening to the music. It was about getting the drugs into my system. Little things like that. Things like taking a walk. I never used to like taking walks. I never understood the point of walks. What was the point of walking around the block? I didn't get it. I would take my dog for a walk, or I would go on a jog or a run. But I didn't understand the point of just walking. And it wasn't until I got into recovery and started practicing mindful walking, and also just practicing being grateful while I'm walking around the block, just thinking about the things I'm grateful for, or just not thinking at all and dropping right into the moment and looking at nature and appreciating the place that I live, and the fact that I live in a place where I can just walk around the block when I choose to get a little bit of relaxation. And these are the things that all of a sudden were helping me to feel better and helping me to feel good. And so when I first read this morning, my initial reaction reading about the infinite pharmacy was, well, maybe we shouldn't be talking to alcoholics and drug addicts about an infinite pharmacy within, because that's going to get us pretty excited about the possibility. But it really is something that when he lists the kinds of things that help you tap into this infinite pharmacy, those really are the kinds of things that I have found in recovery help me feel better. One of the things that I never thought would help me feel better was just sitting down and taking a few breaths. When I'm stressed, when the world is going crazy, when I've got a lot of stuff going on, just taking a few moments to be quiet and take a couple of breaths and pay attention to those breaths. Say a couple gratitudes, maybe even say a little prayer. That 5 minutes that it takes to do that can sometimes be all it needs to help me get back on level ground. And that's amazing to me. I never used to. I couldn't even do that with drugs sometimes, most of the time. And so being able to do that now is one of the most valuable aspects of my recovery. I enjoy being able to do small things that help me to relax, because I never could do that before. I spent years and years trying to figure out, really, how do I relax? And now in recovery, I've found those ways. And the good thing is, they're all very healthy ways. The things that help me stay grounded and relaxed, they're healthy not just in the short term, but in the long term. And that's what Tommy's talking about here. We don't tap into this infinite pharmacy by some, dangerous method. We tap into it by doing stuff like walking, exercise, yoga, talking to people, helping others, being grateful, listening to music. We tap into this by doing things that help us both now and in the future. And that is the secret to finding those good feelings in recovery. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Have a good one.